Hello. I have started reading a book from my childhood called Miss Hickory. It's a funny little book about a doll made out of hickory wood with a nut for her head. So far, it's cute. I remembered it, but it was very vague. So, this is a fun revisiting of a childhood book. Very old book. It was old when I was a child, so it's very old. So, we have gotten past or almost done with the first chapter where Crow makes a call. There's Crow, and he just told Miss Hickory, "You'll have to move." Where? She went over to the window and looked west. Each year, uh, each year, the forest, wild and deep, marched closer to the old place. They had both forgotten to admire the sunset. The afterglow, like a blanket of woven rainbows, had folded about Temple Mountain. "Aye, that's the rub," Crow replied hoarsely. Miss Hickory stamped her foot. "Don't talk like a Paul parrot. Whatever you hear, either the radio or William Shakespeare, you repeat. You don't, you know you can't read a word." Crow bowed his head humbly. "Right you are. But what I meant was that we shall have to make a plan and make it speedily. You can't live under a lilac bush all winter." "We? This isn't your home. It belongs to me. I like it here. I can't move. Where would I take my stove, my pot, and my tea kettle, my cup, my saucer, and my bed? If I lived in a crow's nest with no nice house furnishings and no good housekeeping." She could not say any more. She could only look with love and fear at her four corncob walls. "You give me an idea, Miss Hickory." Crow balanced himself on one foot and scratched his head with the other. "I will have no idea of yours." "But a little change is good for us all," Crow said smirkingly. "You must remember, dear lady, that you weren't born with a cup and saucer in your hand." It was more than Miss Hickory could stand. She lost her temper. "I believe that this is all a piece of gossip on your part, Crow. I shall never believe that the old place is empty until I ask Mr. T. Willard Brown. He will tell me the truth. As for you, Crow," she stood as tall and brave as she could beside her door. "Get out of my house," she ordered. "As you wish." Crow walked in a dignified manner toward the door. "But don't worry, something is bound to turn up." "I won't move," she repeated as he stepped across the threshold. But he tapped her head lightly with his beak. "Hard-headed, that's what you are." And with that, Crow walked off in the direction of the pine wood. He and the falling night one in the color of dusk. Miss Hickory put a twig hand up to her nut head. Look, he's tapping her head. It's a cute picture. Look, you can see the corn cobs. Crow, wait. Crow, she knew was right. Her head was undoubtedly hard. She moved slowly about her house, lifting a stove lid to poke the red coals, turning down her bedspread. But as she comforted herself in these homely tasks, a feeling that she had never experienced before came to Miss Hickory. Perhaps it was caused by the sap that was still in her twig body. Perhaps it was the essence of the sweet nut inside the hard shell of her head. Whatever caused it, Miss Hickory began to cry. Tears came out of her eyes and rolled down her wrinkled cheeks. They fell so fast that she had to staunch them with her cap ties. It was dark then, so no one saw her break down. No one heard Miss Hickory sob, "It isn't true. I won't move. Mr. T. Willard Brown will tell me tomorrow that I only had a bad dream." Oh, it's so cute, her little house. I love this book. I remember it more and more as we read. Her little basket there. Chapter 2, Moon Before Snowfall. "A good day to finish my canning," Miss Hickory said to herself as she built up a wood fire and started toward the forest for berries. It was a beautiful day, crisp but with warm sunshine that made her forget Crow's warning visit. Crow was so ready with a raucous chatter that she did not take him seriously. He always has something to say and likes to hear himself say it, she reminded herself as she put a small rush basket over her arm and stepped briskly off on her twig feet. There she goes to collect her berries. Although the torches that the goldenrod had lighted along the October road toward Miss Hickory's head, uh, she found her way easily. Although the torches that the goldenrod, yep, that's what it says, in and out among them, their brightness made her feel gay. Farther on the purple asters made a royal canopy beneath which she walked proudly until she came to the edge of the woods. She left the road and was at once in the deep greens of the pines. Miss Hickory's nose was as keen as a fox's. The smell of pine trees never failed to go to her head. She could not explain why, but when she was alone in the woods, sniffing rich earth, wandering through the lacy lanes of ferns, and smelling the pines, she felt like another person. She wished that she had time to dig up one of the tiny new hemlock trees to set it out at the front of her corncob house, an idea that she had treasured for some time. But the cold of the woods, now that she had left the sunny road, made her realize that there would not be many more berrying days. She knelt down, dug away the leaves that already were making a thick covering on the earth. It always surprised her to feel how warm the earth kept under the leaves, even on a cold day. She dug them aside here and there, uncovering the vines that she wanted. It was a delight to thrust her twig arms up to the elbows in the warm tangle as to sniff the woods. She began to pick the bright red berries and fill her basket. There was no time to lose, she knew. Cock Pheasant lived close by and was a famous berry picker. Checkerberries first! They stood up straight in plain sight on their stems and could be picked fast, but for preserving and storing away in her acorn jugs for the winter. Miss Hickory knew that checkerberry preserves needed a good deal of sweetening, more honey than she had been able to save this season. She picked a few checkerberry leaves. They were tasty and crisp, served with a cup of tea. There are the berries. Next, the partridge berries that ripened close to the ground, little crimson balls and twins, two growing side by side, secretly on their low-lying running vine. Miss Hickory canned partridge berries whole, in their own sweet juice. As she finished gathering berries and started home with her filled basket, she remembered something that Cock Pheasant had once told her. Oh, look at that, so cute. When the partridge berries are ripe, Cock Pheasant had said, it is only 2 full moons before the first snowfall. Uh-oh, Miss Hickory is about to experience the winter. That's what the crow's warning was about. So we'll leave it here with Miss Hickory gathering her berries.